Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, we know the current pandemic is a very serious topic, and we pride ourselves on bringing you the latest, most important information every night.
But we also think it's important to shine a light on what people are doing during this national emergency. And, you know, a lot of people are trying to keep others' spirits high and changing life in general because, you know, this is all something new to us. Everything is changing by the day, for sure.
Yes, exactly. And as we are doing social distancing or physical distancing and staying at home a lot more, one of the ways is, you know, finding things on social media and seeing those stories that are a little bit more uplifting. I think we all need a little bit of that right now.
We do. We all need a little bit of it. So we found some of our favorite videos we've seen this week, and we want to show them to you today to see if we can brighten your day just a little bit. Well, after his plans to propose to his girlfriend were canceled due to coronavirus, one Florida man made the best of a bad situation. James was planning to propose to his girlfriend Kelly on a trip to Las Vegas, but when that trip was canceled, he decided to just, why not go ahead and pop the question at home, saying he didn't want to spend another day not engaged to Kelly. That's so sweet, right? The couple then went on to take some quarantine-inspired engagement photos that you're looking at right there. The photos are filled with all of the quarantine necessities, including hand sanitizer, toilet paper, snacks, and games to keep them busy.
How romantic. I think right now the most romantic thing is or the toilet paper, you know, the hand sanitizer. We have also seen some florists. Now they're making bouquets of toilet paper. We saw a story of, I think this woman's, her kids, two of her sons sent her some flowers, which were toilet paper. I know we have seen some of those, so that's become popular too, just different ways.
Yeah, we're about to get back to the toilet paper
But I
too,
love that, because what matters is they're getting married and they're spending the rest of their lives together. And you know what? Forget the photos in Vegas and forget Vegas. What matters is the two of them and that special moment. I'm glad they had some fun with that too. Well, another story we also saw is a baker in Germany. Speaking of toilet paper, he is hoping to cheer up his customers. He created a new cake that looks like the country's most popular item in demand, and possibly the world's most popular item in demand right now, toilet paper. It's a toilet paper-shaped marble cake. 36-year-old Tom Cordium says he was joking with his clients that it's impossible to find toilet paper right now. So that's when he had the idea, and he made 8 cakes for his shop and then sold out very quickly. He then started getting calls for the toilet paper cakes, and now he's baking 200 rolls per day. That seems excessive. It's crazy, a lot of baking, but it's good for his business, good for his employees. He has 40 employees, so they are staying afloat. They're open for business and just baking away. Another term that people are getting familiar with is PPE, and a statue got a timely addition to its wardrobe in Boulder City, Nevada, with a bunch of PPE. Even statues are trying to stay safe from the coronavirus. The statue of what appears to be 2 construction workers, featuring one man standing with his hands raised and another sitting on the ground next to him, now has an added twist, with one of the men wearing rubber gloves and the other sports a face mask. Very interesting to see those, and again, I have seen a lot of those on social media, the statues with the masks, and just another way that people are trying to, I think that raises awareness too. It's a good way to raise awareness. Well, another story. Most people are not happy about the self-isolation part of all of this, but one man's best friend is certainly having a field day. This is Rollo. The spread of the coronavirus so recently caused his owner, Emma, and her entire family, they're all working from home now, and Rollo was not mad about it. He loved it. So he was so happy that everyone was home that he couldn't stop wagging his tail, and he wagged it so much he ended up spraining it. I didn't even know that was possible until I read about the story. So she took him to the vet, and Emma says he was diagnosed with happy tail syndrome. It's a very real kind of injury. It makes it hard for the tail to lift up, but it still moves from side to side. So Rollo is now resting up his tail, but continuing to get all of the love and undivided attention from his family. There you go. The dogs love it. Yeah, a lot of people's lives are changing. More people spending some more time at home, and it's affecting the family pets as well. And a lot of them are happy. I've seen some video of some cats maybe not being so happy that they're being disturbed during the day on social media. They're not happy about people being home. They do like their alone time. They like their alone time. The opposite of the dogs. But Rollo is definitely happy. Interesting. Well, another thing that people are having to deal with a lot of gyms being closed down, you know, how do you get exercise through all this? Well, a man in France is not letting the pandemic get in the way of his dreams of running a marathon.
Instead, he took the matter into his own hands, running the length of a marathon on his apartment balcony. Now, it's good to remember, a marathon is 26.2 miles, and his balcony was 23 feet long. So he ran back and forth quite a few times to accomplish that feat. It took him 6 hours.
6 hours and 48 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I read. That is determination right there, just running back and forth. And that was his record worst time, too, 6 hours and 48.
I was going to say, that's probably harder than actually running a marathon outside, because you're having to stop and turn around.
Right.
And that surely kills your time a whole lot.
Yeah,
a lot of people
are
being creative on how to stay fit and stay active when a lot of people are inside.
Well, a heartwarming moment of family embracing social distancing while wishing their grandmother a happy 95th birthday. Katie Burns' family planned to celebrate at a pizza restaurant in Syracuse, but with health officials urging us to protect the elderly, one of the groups most affected by the virus so far, the family opted to stand on Burns' front lawn and sing happy birthday while she stood at a safe distance away on her front porch.
Now, this is another thing we've seen a lot. We've seen you know, pictures of people showing engagement rings to their grandfather through the window, and you know, whatever it is, we know the elderly are the most vulnerable population probably due to this virus. So everyone, you know, wants their grandparents and loved ones to be around for a little while longer. So they're taking the social distancing seriously.
There you go, 6 feet away. All right. Well, another thing we have also seen is people are buying board games a lot to stay at home and do something at home. And this is what I really like about this, is that you're involving the whole family. You know, it's the what's old is new again type thing. So everyone is home, you're spending time with the kids, maybe teaching your kids a game that you used to play when you were younger. I love the idea of board games. That's something I have done too with my friends that we hadn't done in a long time. And then you remember, oh, I really love this. It's kind of fun to do that too.
We don't know how long life is going to be a little bit different for us, but you know, hopefully everyone can enjoy it while we're going through all of this, at least a little bit.
We'll be right back with more right here on Ozarks Fox.